Ramble.
Thank you to Rosetta Stone for sponsoring today's episode.
Garrick's a superstar.
Oh my God.
That is what he are.
Oh no.
Garrick's a superstar.
Please don't.
That is what you are.
Was this planned? No.
Single drunk female
Don't
now on freeform.
Don't sing it, please.
It's so good. It's time.
Guys, this is super exciting.
Yes.
We're doing an episode today. Welcome to Guilty Pleasures. We're talking about Single Drunk Females.
Ow.
Season 2, starring...
It's me.
Rico.
I'm in there. I'm on television for.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is gonna be a very candid conversation about the process.
Yo, we've never done this. All
Yeah.
three of us are filmmaker, actor, writers, and
Yeah.
we've never done our own project.
Yeah.
The closest we've done is like when we had Vin on the show, because like
Yes.
he
Yeah,
was
it
like,
was
hey,
cool.
like we're friends. Let's
Yeah.
talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
my
that was
new
low-key.
little
We're
indie
buddies.
project.
Yeah.
You and Vin Diesel, same podcast.
Same podcast.
Wow.
Made him laugh.
I think about it every day.
I think about it every day. I think that's a bigger moment than being
get
on
about
this
it.
television show. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Equally pivotal.
Equally
yeah, but
pivotal.
Single Drunk Female, let's just say this real quick because it's season 2. All 10 episodes are out right now.
Yeah.
It is excellent. The season 1, obviously, you can watch on Hulu.
Yeah.
It is a great show. And frankly, I wonder if you guys agree or disagree. It's serialized. I think you could jump in.
I think you can
Season
jump in.
2?
Yeah.
I think you can jump in. There is they're all out. So it's just like, you might as well watch the
And
first season.
if you want if you want to understand what we're freaking out about, watch season 1.
Watch season 1. There's a bit of a twist in season 1. So that's nice that you should definitely check out.
What is so delightful and why Garrick is going to shrink down in his chair throughout this is that Garrick's the heartthrob.
Garrick is the love interest.
I'm the
Garrick
love
is
interest
the
in
big sex daddy pound town throwing that thing around.
Yeah. I mean, when getting the thing, I was like, oh, I couldn't. No, that's not it. I didn't even think that that's what the case was gonna be.
I remember when you told us. And we
Yeah.
were like, oh my God, you're on a show. And you like left out the part that you, and I was like, wait, but like, who are you in the show? And you're like, shit. Well, it's like the love interest. They have like a love. There's like a thing.
There's like
between there and the man.
there's like a thing between the two
You're
people.
the fucking heartthrob of the show. Those muscles.
Yeah, I'm like the guy that.
They are out for the public to see. A public attraction.
So for this episode, we're going to be talking about the first 3 episodes of season 2, but we're really just going to be talking about the show, things we love. We're going to hear from Garrick, the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
If people have not seen the show, do you mind giving us a quick synopsis of what it's all about?
Yeah, okay, so the show is about a young woman that was caught drinking at work, and she gets sentenced to a couple months of community service, and also she has to go to AA meetings. And it is just about her struggle with alcoholism, finding out that she's an alcoholic, and then finding a community amongst the AA patrons.
Yeah, it's a cool show in that it's the journey of sobriety in a really humanizing way, but not in a mopey, sad way.
Yes.
Which we've never seen a show about sobriety being the main topic. Like we've seen so many shows that have characters who are alcoholics that
It's
struggle.
always the fucking dark, moody.
It's just like,
So
oh my God,
depressing.
they have such a huge problem on their hands.
Or it's
and all
like
that
we're
stuff.
not addressing it.
Yeah.
Like it's just part of culture. But this, when you told me about this show, I was like, oh my God, single drunk female. That was me for 25 years
Yeah.
of my life.
Yeah.
This show was me. That pilot episode in season 1 where you're seeing just how bad it is. I was like, that's a Tuesday night for most millennial women.
Yeah.
And we're all just walking around being like, drinking ethanol is a typical thing. We're all just going to bypass the fact that one company owns like all the major alcohol brands and are selling us a lie to compromise our health and guise it under a good social time. Sorry, I'm on my soapbox. I will step down. I've been sober almost 4 years, so I really fuck with this show.
No, get on that
Hell
fucking
yeah.
soapbox.
Okay, I'm back. No, just kidding. So my favorite thing about this show is that it shows sobriety in a real way that also doesn't shove the principles of AA down your throat.
Right.
Because it is a very controversial community in that it has no doubt saved
It's about Jesus Christ.
millions of lives.
It is, yes, and it is also about Jesus Christ.
Is it a little patriarchal? Is it a little classist?
It's
a little religious.
There's a huge religious aspect to it about like, and they dive into it in this second season, whether it's about her, Sam, the lead character, finding her higher power, and then her sponsor saying that your higher power doesn't have to be something that's God or anything like that. And
exactly.
it's just about her finding that, and I think that is a beautiful story to tell. But in AA, the higher power is Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, which we all know how me and Garrick feel about going back to our childhood traumas.
Can't go back to. I went back to church to watch my mom speak not too long ago.
Aww.
Like a month and a half ago.
Oh,
wow. Yeah.
It was sweet. I haven't been back in like 10 years, so it was like you're seeing everybody that you grew up with. It is the closest I will have as a native Angelino to going back to my hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're just like,
back to your church.
Going back to my church. I was like, oh wow, everybody's.
You survived.
I survived. I got out of here.
Are you going back?
I don't know. Maybe when my dad comes back or something.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. But this show does a really good job of giving the ideas and the steps as events and situations in a comedical.
Yeah.
I think
Comedical.
In a comedy way.
Yeah.
That keeps
Comedic.
this show in the category of comedy, which a comedy about sobriety just is like so rare.
And I think the cast too is so lovable and fun and funny. You have Sophia as Sam Fink, Samantha, who Garrick has still introduced us to. Really
it's weird. He kinda keeps us
you're like keeping
separate
us secret and separate.
your
It's kind
big,
of whatever,
famous
no big
friends.
deal.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not
Whatever.
like we have a TV show.
Yeah,
podcast
she
show.
loves this show, which is it's very shocking. I mean,
Sophia.
so I would definitely ask her to be on, and if her schedule permits. But
Our DMs are open.
Yeah,
you don't have to go through Garrick. Go straight to us.
Yeah.
Go to the
Straight
source. We're right here.
Go to the
Tap
source.
that well, baby.
Yeah.
And also the character who plays Lily.
Yeah. Lily.
No, the actors.
Oh, her name is
I was
Lily?
like, wait. Her name is
Felicia, her best friend.
Felicia, I'm so sorry,
Her name
her
is
best
Lily
friend.
Mae
I
Harrington.
wrote. She's Felicia the goat. She
Yeah.
is
Yes.
so fucking good and
Oh my
funny.
God.
She's got the
So
thickest
funny.
Boston accent.
Oh my God.
And I
Voice of an angel.
Yeah, she's a brilliant singer.
Yeah.
It is like I think she has a show coming up at the Hotel Cafe.
Oh my God.
And I've seen her there like twice. And every time I'm like, you gotta tone down the talent for the love of
Oh
God.
my God. It's insane.
Because it's honestly like watching a really like one man Broadway production,
Wow.
one woman Broadway production.
Yeah.
It's like it's fucking wild.
It's powerful.
Yes, it's powerful.
You know what I like they did in season 2 as well, which happened towards the end of season 1? You know, she's the best friend. She's the party best friend. She's a plus size woman. And you have your vision of what that character is in other shows.
Yeah.
And they decide to make her, one, super fucking confident.
Yeah.
She is unabashedly herself, and she's hot as hell.
She's hot as hell.
She's got
Oh,
a
she
man.
fucks.
Oh yeah, she
and
fucks.
she fucks.
Yeah.
There's that one episode. I don't know what episode it is. It might be the second one where she's in this like bombshell red dress when she goes on a date, and like there's like a
Yes.
bloom behind her, and she's got her hair curled because of course she's a hairdresser in the show. So it's like, or she owns a salon. So like she, you know, of course her hair is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just like this Marilyn Monroe-esque moment. And I was like, God damn, Lily looks great right now.
And they don't really do like a bunch of body commentary. They
At
don't
all.
do like they just
let
literally
her be
give
hot,
her
and it's great.
and
Yeah.
it was so refreshing. And that's what I also liked about this show is I kept seeing a bunch of comps in the early days of like what is this like? And
Yeah.
it was getting like very like critically acclaimed comparisons to like
Yeah.
Fleabag
Yeah.
and Girls and things that I was like, oh, it's almost like colored like a network show, or excuse me, as a network show
yeah.
or like a pop show.
Yeah.
But it's fucking not.
It's not. There's a lot of certain moments that I probably won't touch on or like talk about, but it gets a little dark at times. And you can definitely feel where the show could have gone had it been on a different network, if I'm being honest. But I also love like I don't know, the tightrope that the show
Yes.
walks, where it's just like,
The
okay,
really
this could
fine
be,
tonal line.
it is a really fine tonal line. It's like, oh, this could be, this could be very fun and delightful. And then also this could slide into some really dark and deep issues for no reason at all.
It's exactly what our humor as like millennial and Gen Zs are. It's like very self-deprecating, but also confident and self-referential, and like you can't fuck with me, but I can fuck with me.
Yeah.
And it just it keeps me so invested the whole episode. And I think season 1 was really about watching the main character's journey, and now that she's sort of, spoiler alert, sober, and we're in season 2, it's now expanding even farther into like other people's stories. So like you get more into the relationship with her mom, and her mom, who's
Played by Ali Sheedy?
Ali
which is
fucking
like
Are you
Sheedy.
fucking kidding me?
icon.
You got Breakfast Club up in this shit?
Yeah.
What?
And she says no to a lot of stuff.
You're on a show
no,
without
she
have
like
to do anything.
she I mean, it's very I feel like she's very vocal about this. She did not want to come back to anything.
No.
She didn't want to do TV anymore and all that stuff. And then she read this script and she was like, well, I kind of have to do this
Yeah,
one.
it's
No,
incredible.
and she's
Very nice.
wonderful on it. The relationship she has with Sam is great. The relationship she has with her boyfriend Bob, I love.
my God.
him with
It's
all
so
my
funny.
heart.
Ian Gomez, sweet baby Bob. It's oh my God, he's so fucking funny and so
Yeah.
adorable. And such
Running
a
self-help out of his garage.
such a fucking dad. Like it
Yeah.
was just like I filled up all the gopher holes. Like that line got me so hard. Like it was not, an erection, but you know what I mean.
You said
It
it.
just got me.
No one was thinking that until you
I
made
was.
it.
Come
up.
on.
So, okay, this is a question that I have about process.
Oh yeah.
Because you're saddled with like end of season 1, like pretty heavy turn, like some shit happens to your character, who you insist on calling James. It's Rico.
Okay, cool. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. That's
Every
right.
time he's on screen, I'm like, hey,
Rico James.
Not to diminish your acting, you are a wholly original character and doing things that are not you. You're great in the show. You're so fucking lovable.
Oh, thank
You
you.
really do shit where I'm like, this bitch is acting. Like, look at the way he's like carrying his hands. Like, our boy doesn't do that.
No,
like,
no.
you
You're
really are acting.
You're charming. This wasn't even my question. Now I'm just going
It's
to talk about
frustrating.
you. You're charming as hell. You're likable. But then you're also doing some shitty stuff. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck you doing, bro?
Yeah.
And like, there's something that happened to me last night. For whatever reason, season 1, I was so just excited that I was like, no, that's Garrick. Oh my God. And now, for whatever reason, I was watching last night. Maybe you got better. Maybe I just got over myself. Or I was like, oh, this is a different this is not Garrick. This is a character who has his own history and his own backstory and is making bad decisions. And
He was
Garrick wouldn't have
desperate.
done that.
You were playing desperate.
Yeah, it's just
And
like I don't like this guy.
Can we talk about it the moment in episode? It's episode 1, right?
Yeah,
The
episode 1.
birthday party.
We're doing episode 1 through 3, right?
Yeah.
We
I
said
said,
that.
Well, we're kind of just like talking about the show, but specifically loving episode 1 through 3 in season 2, where Sam has a birthday party.
Yeah.
She's freaking out because she wants everything to go right. You catch back up where it's 6 months after we left off in season 1, right? The finale. And her and James did not end well. They broke up, have not spoken.
I know you're talking about the birthday party, but there's a scene, the first scene that James comes back in. Garrick has this line where he's like, it was really hard for me. And I was like, fuck!
I know. And
my heart shattered for
so
you.
what does Sam do? Sweet Sam says, I'm going to invite him to my birthday party, even though everyone's like, don't invite your most recent ex-boyfriend.
It's been awful was the line.
Yeah. And so what does Sweet Rico do? He shows up to the birthday party. And what does he do, guys? He's been broken up with this girl for 6 months.
Yeah.
They have no reason to be reconnected. He kisses her.
Yeah.
He gives her a fucking smooch.
Thinking like they're back together.
Smoocheroo.
And when that happened, I screamed because I went, I have never seen Garrick look more pathetic.
Yeah.
In my fucking life. And
Yeah.
that's when I had to disassociate you and say, wow, he's really acting because I'd never seen you play.
It's
and
a
then you,
pathetic
like-
move. Yeah.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
then-
It's a
then
pathetic,
you-
shitty
Then you
move.
did the like, what? I thought I was supposed to. And then you got mad about
What's
it.
going on, babe? What,
Yeah,
hey,
are we,
I gave you a smooch.
Everything's back to normal.
Yeah.
Everything's Gucci, baby.
Yeah.
I can teach you how to speak my language, Rosetta Stone. Learning a new language is fun. It keeps your brain sharp, but more importantly, it helps you be a more worldly person. You get to travel, you get to relate to people. Look, here in Los Angeles, so many people speak Spanish. My wife's family speaks Spanish. I want to be able to be fluent in a language I love. Also, I just love food, and being able to go to restaurants and order food in a native language, I mean, it's gonna open you up to a whole new world of cuisine. And to do that, there's nothing better than Rosetta Stone. They've been the expert in language learning for 30 years and an award-winning app where you can learn anytime, anywhere. They have 25 languages, Spanish, French, of course, but Italian, German, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch, Arabic, Polish, and so much more. They have these bite-sized pieces, so in as little as 10 minutes, you can make real progress. For a limited time, our listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime unlimited subscription, which gives you access to all 25 of their languages forever for 40% off. Visit rosettastone.com/guilty today. Rosetta Stone, how language is learned.
You gave this like little sheepish wave from across the party. It's like, hey.
Yeah, hi. Hey,
so, okay, this was my process question. So, your character takes a turn, right? I mean, season 1 doesn't end well. Now, season 2, we're seeing him at a low point.
Which is funny because it should be a high.
When this happens, like, are you told? Does the showrunner tell you, hey, here's the arc, here's the journey, or are you finding out when you get the script?
No, you find out when you get the script.
Wow.
Like, so I'm definitely just finding out, as I go along. Like I think if we were shooting we started episodes on Wednesdays, and I think we would get the script. Maybe that Monday.
Wait, so you started filming season 2 not knowing how it ended?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, when did you?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know how it would end.
That's actually really surprising to me and seems very hard.
Yeah.
Because I feel like as an actor, you would want to know
the entire journey that
you
you're going to go on.
Table reads?
Yeah, we do table reads. We do table reads, but
you do table reads as the show is filming.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Decision by EP Jenny Connor.
And Daisy Gardner.
So Jenny Connor was Weeds, for anyone. My baby's back.
Jenny Connor was Girls as well.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah, she's great. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
I just assume they're all listening to this show.
Yeah, they were.
And I would like to say that I'm like a cool guy
and
put
me on.
You know,
and like if you need like waiter number 2 and 3,
if you need a formally actually single drunk female, I'm available. Wait, so as an actor, that can't be easy.
No, it was. I think that was one of the harder scenes that I had to do because you and this is I feel bad even saying this because it makes me feel like the process is so difficult, but being unlikable is not. It's hard. It's like being a dick when you're not usually.
You're not a dick.
Yeah. I think I try to respect people's boundaries and be able to take a fucking hint. That's the other thing.
I said you can't take a fucking hint.
Yeah, I had to do that scene like 3 or 4 times because it was just coming off too nice.
The line that you have, I wrote down, is "We're not friends. We're just 2 people who met at a bar."
That was a fucking bar. That was a fucking bar.
That was searing.
When I read that, I was like, "Oh god damn!"
You are and what like a flip flop? You go from getting excited, you kiss her, rejection, to then searing her.
Yeah,
but what's crazy too is that you as an actor, so actors, you have to always play as if your character is right, or certainly you write from that perspective, right? Like no one's playing a scene being like, "I'm going to be a dick right now."
Yeah.
Right.
You are wounded.
Yeah.
And so you as a now human being Garrick need to find the justification for why James the character is acting that way.
Right.
That's not easy to wrap your head around because we can all sit here and say, James is a dick right there. But you need to love him and you need to figure out why he is wounded and what makes him tick. And it's not easy.
And I think it's with him, it's just trying to find some semblance of control. Because like in the first season, he has control over most things. Over his entire life, over his schedule, blah, blah, blah. And as he's feeling, everything kind of go out of whack in the second season, at least he can, have a say in a relationship. So he kind of oversteps a little bit as he's trying to overcorrect.
Because he's so used to being controlled, like having it all figured out.
Right, having it all figured out. And so I don't think he takes rejection in a way that's really healthy. Or, again, in the first season, he doesn't take success in a way that's healthy. So he's just kind of lost. It's weird.
Can I say, so season 2 introduces a love triangle of sorts because you've got a new love interest, Alex, the former boss, and they go on a date. This dorko kisses her on the cheek. And I just want to say, look, I get that James is being a dick.
Yeah.
If you think for a fucking second that you're gonna outplay my boy Garrick, that Rico has anything to fucking fear, you're going down, you little dorko bitch. You're going the fuck down. Rico's gonna wipe the floor with you. His megawatt smile, his fucking rippling abs, and that build them back muscles.
Seen his arms?
The fashion?
Goodbye.
Are you kidding me?
Goodbye.
That is my ultimate pleasure of this show. Every scene, I wrote down every single outfit you wore.
Oh my God.
I wrote down every single outfit.
Fuck yes.
First, I wrote, Garrick, I loved you. Your jacket rules. You're wearing like a blue, it's kind of fuzzy. It's like not a cardigan. It's kind of, I don't know. It's cool. Then I go, ooh, look at Garrick sheepish little wave from across the party wearing a badass shirt and chain combo. I see you.
Yeah.
It's back.
Then I think it was episode 3. You have the green diamond shirt Garrick wears at the green diamond shirt Garrick wears at the bar. Also, watching him slip is really sad.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
yes. Also, watching you at the bar, like trying to hit on a girl or like get hit, whatever that was so goofy. It was wild.
It was a very, to me, like, sorry guys, I know like people who made the show are watching. That scene wasn't believable.
Because no one would do that.
No one would turn.
No
that.
one's turning him down.
People would be smashing.
Yeah,
Ain't no pass.
No,
but
all
he's.
smash.
I mean, even going back to the Alex triangle and all that stuff.
No, he's such a sweet character. I really like him.
He's great. He's great. He's amazing. And I think that it's just that he's a dick this whole season.
Yeah.
James is a dick, and he's just like, that person shouldn't find love right now.
But also, like, you deal with people like that who are going through those things in their life where they're trying to show up to be and exist in the world with other people, and it's like, no, dog, you need to have that time for yourself. This is self-growth Rico time.
Yeah.
Wait, can I ask also? So Joel, who is the character, so Sam, the main character Sam, her ex is engaged in season 1 to her best friend,
Brittany.
Former best friend. So Britt and Joel, they get engaged in season 2. If you watch, you'll see they are now separated. Really fun plot line. But there's one scene where you and Joel are playing basketball. And how tall is this man?
Okay.
Wait, you play basketball?
Charlie Hall is he's got to be like 6'4", 6'5".
No, he's 7'10".
He's giving cousin Greg. He gives me cousin Greg.
He's also a D1 basketball player.
What?
Yeah, like there was a scene that got cut out, which I'm very sad got cut out. But we're just showing off the skill difference. And he throws it off the backboard and dunks it.
Oh my God.
And it was midair. It's a midair thing. So he's like dribbling, jumps, throws it in against the backboard, catches it, dunks it midair.
Holy shit.
And that shit was fucking wild. And it took him like 2 or 3 tries.
They did you so dirty in this scene because in every other scene in the show, Joel's just some guy.
Yeah.
He's sitting, he's normal, and then in this scene, he's standing next to Garrick, and Garrick looks like me.
A baby.
Yeah, like a tiny child.
It's giving Kornfeld.
Yeah. Oh God. But like he's
You look like a little baby man.
You look like a little baby.
That's the only way I can look compared to this 6'5" strapping young lad.
I remember reading a review, and tell me who it is. Who am I thinking that is the son of Julia Louis Dreyfus?
Yeah.
Did you know
Charlie.
that?
Joel?
That guy is
No kidding.
Julia Dreyfus's
Julia Louis
son.
Dreyfus gave birth to a tree man.
Yeah, tree man. Big tall boy.
Yep.
And that's a Nepo baby that we stan.
Yeah.
How's that moon pie,
support.
Kelsey?
Huh?
How's that moon pie?
Well, it's a little drier than I thought.
Yeah.
Moon pies typically
we
have...
can hear that it's a little drier than you thought.
This is why I choose not to wear headphones, because I'm in denial of being able to eat while podcasting.
Hilarious.
I wrote my
that's not a real
favorite.
thing.
These are just random notes I have. My favorite Felicia line is Sam at one point goes to her and goes, "I still don't want to tell him." And she goes, "Of course you don't. Who wants to do anything?"
Yeah.
And I felt so seen.
Yeah. Oh my God. I think like I'm here and I'm a host on the podcast, so we're talking about my character, but I think that I think that the relationship between Sam and her mom is fucking fantastic.
Oh my God.
And then just Sam as a whole, like that entire arc of just emotional sobriety. I don't think I've even seen that. You know, it's just like, oh, well, I'm not drinking anymore, so I guess I have to fill this with relationship stuff.
You get addicted to something else. And the community, like a lot of people become addicted to AA. It becomes that's their whole fucking life. And a big reason why AA, and I wonder if they'll show this at all in the series, if they'll introduce people who do sobriety without AA, or if they do like California sobriety, or if they do like everything but plant sobriety, where someone will who still take it's like a big controversial thing, right? Where you have like the old queens in AA who are like, even cigarettes or kava is the gateway, and then what you get is like this community where it's you either are an alcoholic
all the way
or you're one drink away from ruining your life again. And that's what AA wants you to believe. When you are an alcoholic, you are one drink away from ruining your life. And some people need that. Some people need that pressure to be like,
don't do this.
I can't even, that's not even in my world again.
Put the fear of God in them.
Exactly. Yeah. And for others, it's like, well, this is a genetic thing. This is something I can unlearn a habit out of. This is something I can train myself to replace. And then with that comes a lot of people get addicted to sex. I think one of the episodes show her like now she's obsessed with food because like what are you supposed to do with your hands at a bar? Like it just, you can tell whoever is in that writer's room has gone through actual sobriety because it gets into like the nitty gritty details of sobriety that like you don't think about. And that's how you know this show is so.
Simone Finch, the creator, is 9 years sober.
Girly.
Yeah. She's she has sponsees. She is a sponsor. Been in AA for a year.
We didn't even talk about the relationship between her sponsor and her.
It's so lovely.
It's great.
So good. And the kitty cat. Tell us about the cat.
Oh, big old fat Josh.
Big old fat Josh.
Big old chunky Josh. He is the biggest cat in Georgia, and I fucking love him.
The fact that the cat's name is Josh.
Yeah.
Kills me.
What else would you call him other than a human name for a human-sized cat?
What's his name in the show? Is it Josh?
Josh.
Oh, okay. He goes by
He has to go by his own name.
Yeah,
he's actually playing himself.
He's playing himself. It'll be credited as Josh as himself.
But that relationship with the sponsee is so good.
It's beautiful.
It's showing the unhealthy like coping and codependence. Yeah. Like you get like her life with her partnership, and you get surrogacy between a queer couple. Like you just get so much of today's life that you didn't get in the Sex and the City, that you didn't get in Girls. Like it just is today. It's today's people.
It's almost like the show is consistently trying to prove that alcohol isn't what makes you cool. You're what makes you cool.
Damn.
And as cliche as that sounds, or like, Hallmark card as that sounds,
Truth.
I think that it is, it's the truth, and then it's also refreshing because you don't see that angle pretty often.
Did you at all fuck with sobriety when playing James? Did you try?
Nah, I was drunk as fuck, boy.
This is Garrick. This is me drinking whiskey most of the time on this podcast.
Yeah, this is me. I'm like Denzel Washington in Flight. I was drunk the whole time. I was no. But no, I didn't play with it or anything like that. But it really does make you just understand why people don't. It really does make you see people who are just like, no, I'm good. Is not like a punching bag or like a punchline and be like, oh, you don't drink because you you can't handle your liquor. It's just like, no, I
if anyone tried to make fun of me for not drinking, I don't even believe that I have a disease. I don't subscribe to that knowledge, but I would fucking incinerate that person. Yeah. Like, what a fucking loser.
This is something where I felt the LA in me, because there was a scene where she was afraid to tell her date that she was sober, and I'm like, who fucking cares? But then I realized, like, that's just so normalized.
You're not
to me.
in Boston, Boston, where it's like it's very much you have to be drunk most of the time.
Well, hey, it's Boston, just to get through the day.
Yeah, that's true.
When I first got sober, it was after I had already told Eugene that I would be his like sort of co-host for Ranking.
Oh yeah,
for booze, and I was so embarrassed to tell him that I was getting sober and that I was sober at that point for like 3 weeks that I lied to him and told him I was going out of town. Yeah. So when I saw that scene of her being embarrassed and I too was like, oh, just tell her, who cares? I'm like, wait, this is 3 years.
You did that.
Yeah.
I fucking did that.
Wow.
Where it was like, I just didn't know after being known as the girl who drank and could outdrink anyone, never had a problem with it, was arguably the most successful, attractive, and made the most money I'd ever made as a drunk, was stopping drinking. And you just don't know what to tell people.
Yeah.
Because it's automatically assumed like, oh, wow, you hit rock bottom, huh? And it's like, well, yeah, but there's so much more to that. And there's so much more about that's actually wrong with alcohol and society that we should be looking at rather than me, quote, not being able to handle my liquor, quote.
Yeah. But it's, I also don't think that the show is like trying to be like, society is wrong. No. We shouldn't be drinking. It's just like this young woman has an addiction and she is trying to better herself.
Exactly.
And they make a point, like other characters drink.
Yeah.
And her mom, Ali Sheedy, is swinging around a glass of Chardonnay in every scene. Rosé in hand at all times. And like, yeah, they're not trying to demonize alcohol. It's not inherently bad. It's just bad for this person.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom.
Because it turns her into somebody that she doesn't want to be.
Slam dunk.
It's great.
John Glazer joins this season. Whoop, whoop. Everything is better with John Glazer. They work at basically BuzzFeed, which really
so in the first season it's called Buzz that she works at.
Did you say something? Were you like,
no? I think on my audition, can I tell my audition story?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, John Glazer, your screen time is done.
Put a pin in that.
Sorry. On my audition, they were like, "Wait, did you work at BuzzFeed?" And then he was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Do you know that we're naming the company that she works at Buzz?" I was like, "Oh, cool."
That's very silly.
Let's do it. Okay, so I think I was I get auditions, every so often. Just to be like, oh, here, you're a stand-up, so you should probably start going out for on-camera stuff. And I was like, cool. Got an audition for this, and I read it. I was like, oh, this is fun. And so I went and did an audition in front of Leslie Headland.
Crazy.
And
wait, so it is Leslie Headland?
Yeah. She was directing she directed the pilot. So this is just for the pilot.
Oh, okay.
She directed the pilot.
Which was incredible.
She's also sober, so she had a lot of input in everything like that.
And at this point, you don't consider yourself much of an actor.
No.
And you kind of are still down yourself. But
yeah.
Which is crazy because you acted in everything in BuzzFeed and were fantastic. But when I think of you, I'm not like, that's an actor. That's my writer comedian
Yeah,
friend.
Exactly. That's what I would like to be known as. But so like I went out for this, and you go out for so many things that you're just like, fuck it, who cares? And so I went in on a Zoom with this energy of reading with this reader and being like, blah 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 blah, and I kind of like riffed some stuff, and it was like kind of
show him a likable guy.
Show him a likable guy. Here you go, blah blah blah. And then they're like, oh, okay, cool, great. And then I went back to writing on Solar. I was like, all right, let me go back into the writing.
You're just used to that.
Yeah, it was just like
used to not getting roles.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so who's the famous person they're gonna show this to be like, hey, could you? This is the vibe that we're kind of going for? And I was like, I could be that guy. Why not?
Yeah.
And then I got a call back, and I was like, oh.
A callback?
Right. Oh, wow.
That's a big deal.
Look at that.
That only happens about 5 to 10% of the 100 auditions you do.
Yeah. Right. And I was like, oh, I got a callback. Cool. And then the title, the subject line said chemistry. And I was like, oh, fuck.
That's more than a callback.
That's more than a callback.
That's a callback.
That's not a callback. This is the third step. I was like, oh, okay.
So Sophia, was she already attached to the show?
She was already cast. She was already the lead. Wow. And so I go into the Zoom, and then Sophia's there, and I know I'm familiar with her work.
She's very hot. Very talented.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh God, okay, fuck.
She's a big deal.
Shit. Yeah,
she was in the mix.
She was in the mix.
Which
she was very
incredible.
good at that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
and
nervous.
Also to then go back, like you don't consider yourself actor. She actor.
Is an actor.
She's an actor.
Theater girl.
Since she was fucking 16 years old or some shit like that. Like a professional actor. I'm like, oh God.
This is what she does for a living.
This is what she does for a living and has done for a living for a while. And so I'm reading with her, And I kind of like riffed some dumb shit up top, like trying to get to know her and all that stuff. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, fuck, I am bombing. And so the nerves.
Wait. You're doing a chemistry read over Zoom.
Over Zoom.
Oh my
That's
God,
impossible.
panini.
Yeah. It was also like early Zoom days. So you're not used to Zoom. You're not used to Zoom timing.
You're not used to auditioning.
I'm used to auditioning,
over
so
the timing of that.
the whole time that we're reading through, I'm, doing the same thing I did with the reader. But I was so nervous that I kept tapping my mic.
Oh, shit.
I kept tapping my mic like this. So the whole time during the record, you're just hearing this over and over and over and over. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miles.
No, that's just so funny that you were tapping your fucking mic.
I was like, I didn't even know. It's just my hand was hovering over it, and I was trembling so much that it was just like, you're just hearing the mic
You cute
go over.
little
Was this the
baby.
farthest you had gotten? at this
Farthest
point?
I've ever gotten in anything. So I'm like, oh God. And she's looking at me like, I don't care. Like, who the fuck is this kid?
Whoever's
whoever's
gonna
gonna do it is gonna get it, right? And so I do all of that, and then I get another call saying, hey, this was cool, but you seemed a little nervous. And your mic was going off.
Oh
I don't
my
know what was going on,
God.
but your mic was going fucking crazy. And so,
Wait, so the mic thing actually
it
saved you?
saved
Yes!
me. And so they're like, could you come in tomorrow and do it again?
In
And so,
person?
no.
Oh,
Over Zoom
Oh,
again.
thank God.
And I was like, okay, fuck this.
Yeah!
I don't give a shit. Now I was like, I don't care anymore.
have
I don't
to.
give a I was like, I'm just going to go in, bomb, and then fucking leave, you know?
have to
And
at
so
that point.
they're just like,
This is
why
the
not?
stand-up
Fuck it.
mentality.
This is stand-up mentality. I was
Yes.
just being like, I'm going to just go in and bomb, bro. Bomb on purpose,
Yes.
dog. And so, like, I go in, my hands are like up here. I was just like, sorry for hitting the mic, blah blah blah. And this third one, I just do way better and well
Yeah.
because I'm like, I don't care anymore.
You really don't.
Yeah, and then
You've gone through the 7 circles of hell.
I've gone through the 7 circles of hell. Like that entire night, I was just like, okay, well, I just embarrassed myself in front of an A-list
Never gonna
actress.
hear about any of those
Cool.
jobs again.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get any job. Sick.
Oh,
Fine.
cool. Leslie Headland.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
right. So like I think on the second chemistry read, which was my third audition, Leslie was like giving us notes and like things to shift, and then that's when I was like, okay, maybe I have a better shot at this than I thought I did.
I'm being
This
directed.
is this is a difference. This has never happened to me. And then we got off the call, and she was like, all right, great, cool. We'll talk to you later, maybe sometime. And then that night, I got a call from every agent I've ever had.
Yes, you're like, I didn't even know I had these people on my team.
The entire suite of
Oh my
representatives
God.
called me, and they were just like, "Hey, man."
Wait, were they like?
Wait,
were they
what'd
like?
they
Hey,
say?
Garrick,
Huh?
we've got Bill,
No.
Jane,
So it was-
Marcus,
it was
and
essentially-
Ralph on the phone.
It was essentially
and you're like,
my manager called me, and she was like, "Hey,
gotta
can
buzz
we
you
talk?"
in.
And then she was like, "All right, 1 second." And then
Beep everybody in. Oh my
she brought
God, that
everybody
so
in.
good. I've had those calls
And
before.
she's
Where you're
like-
just like, I'm either about to be fired or
Yeah.
I did something great.
And I was like, "Oh God, what's going on? What's going on?" And she was like, "Hey, you just booked your first pilot." It was like fucking.
Where were you when you got this call?
I literally get chills.
I was in my bedroom.
Oh my God. Were you freaking out?
I was losing my fucking mind.
Oh my God. That's like just one of those moments you can't
Yeah.
like describe.
Yeah,
You
it
get
was,
the call. What are you looking at?
I am.
What are you wearing?
Okay, so I love D'Angelo with all of my heart. D'Angelo, the artist.
Yep.
And so I love his Voodoo album. There's a song on there called "Send It On" that I always like play during like good news. And so I had it.
You're so fucking cute.
Yeah,
you're so
I have it
cool.
on vinyl.
Of course
And so I
you
was
do.
looking at the vinyl player as they're like as they're talking to me, and I was like, "Oh my God, bro," and all this stuff. And then I started the song. And
Who is the first person you called?
Sequoia, for sure.
Oh, what'd she
I was just like, oh my God.
I'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
Did you run out and tell your roommate?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I told Neil immediately.
Did you say, "Oh my God"? You're like, "Guess what, bitch?"
No, I was like, "Oh my God," because me and Neil's relationship, Neil isn't the type of person to like jump around, jump on the
Neil
bed,
is very, like,
jump on the bed.
yeah.
But my buddy, who's, we had our whole situation. He's no longer with us, but. He was the person I called next, and
God.
he was like jumping on his bed, and that's the person that you
they
call.
know,
Yeah,
people who are in this industry, like get some 90% of people will never get that call.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
made
and it's
the pilot.
It's
You
fucking
booked it.
terrifying. It's scary.
Yeah.
Like you're just really throwing your hat into a ring of abyss. Like it's just like I don't know where this will land. Hopefully
then
it'll
what,
land
though?
somewhere.
Like I feel like
We're the third person he called, by the way.
by the way, in case you're wondering.
for sure. I mean,
but I
definitely.
remember where I was when you told me. I was in Santa Monica. I had just gotten out of a grocery store and I pulled over and I parked because I think we either FaceTimed with you or you sent us a voice note or something, and we were like freaking out because you never get those opportunities. But like I'm someone, and we've all been in this industry long enough to know that even after that high fade, bitch, I am not excited until I'm sitting on my couch watching the premiere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Episode.
Because I'm like, oh, they're just gonna. I was thinking, oh, so the first rung is. They made a mistake. The second
we called the wrong Garrick Bernard.
Yeah, the second rung.
This is embarrassing.
Exactly. The second rung is his availability is like to blah blah blah. So we're just gonna block this. The third rung is the pilot doesn't get picked up. And then when it's
right, because at this point it wasn't even.
and it wasn't
Yeah.
even
order.
it was just it's just a pilot, and I was like,
stressful.
oh cool, I get to be in a little pilot.
Yeah.
And then and then when it got picked up to series, because so I knew it was getting picked up to series after I saw like I think it was like the first 5 minutes of the pilot.
Which
I
is
was like, oh,
incredible.
I was like, oh shit, this is.
It feels like a fucking movie.
It feels it's very cinematic. Again, Leslie Headland. It was just great, and so I was like, okay, so this is definitely not the vibe of what a lot of freeform shows are. So like,
not at all.
it'll definitely bring in a new audience, and I think it'll go. And then it went, and then I was like, okay, so now I have to get 7 gold chains. I have to get so many gold chains. Yeah.
And you're like ready to meet your cast, like you're ready to meet everybody. Like
You guys all filmed in Atlanta.
No, we filmed the pilot in Chicago.
oh right,
Yeah, and then I had only met Sophia and Rebecca. I only met those two, so I didn't know the rest of the cast really. And then we all go out to Atlanta and fucking melt in the Atlanta sun together.
Oh wow, yeah.
And now we're
trauma
one.
bonded for life.
Yeah.
And something I'm always fascinated by is James in season 2 shows up with a sleeve of tattoos.
Yeah.
He's gotten yadded his entire fucking body.
Yeah.
And the producers didn't even bat an eye. You didn't run it by them. You didn't check.
Yeah, you definitely have to get them cleared beforehand, but I didn't even need to send anything to like my tattoo artist. But he was like, I'll sign whatever, it's all good.
But I don't understand how you are ballsy enough to say, you know what, I just did a whole season of television.
Yeah.
Tattoos.
Yeah,
Tattoos.
Like what? That's so funny to me, and they just don't even explain it.
No, I was just like, no, they don't explain it at all. I think my skin is dark enough to where if like you see it again, if you see it in the second season, you'd be like, wait, did he have tattoos this whole time?
Whereas like Sophia, I remember messaging you being like, are those for real tattoos?
Yeah,
or did she
yeah.
put those on every episode? And you're like, no, she's got tattoos.
No, she has
And I was
tattoos.
Like, oh man, she's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
So fucking cool.
Yeah.
We've done so many like conversations and talking about like making out scenes, and like we know there was a potential romp in the sheets scene cut in the first season.
Yeah.
Dear listeners, this is hard for us because season 1 did have a scene of shirtless Rick
Yeah.
Chained.
with a chain.
With a chain.
Sex
Shirtless
scene,
Rick.
Yeah.
shirtless,
With a
chain,
Yeah.
and it was cut.
Yeah,
And it was cut.
And that's
I heard
fucked
it
up.
was because it was too hot.
too spicy.
Too
They
spicy.
said we
Too
want
spicy.
the younger crowd to be able to watch
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I think it was probably cut for time.
Yeah.
It was probably cut for time. But
Because how long is each episode? It's
23
short,
minutes,
which
yeah.
is criminal.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really think that you guys should get a full 30 stream on Hulu.
I mean, network, so
Yeah.
it's
You need
or we're
commercial breaks.
cable, so you need commercial breaks,
Yeah.
and that extra 7 minutes is commercials.
Nobody
Yeah, and it's
watched
really impressive how much to get through. But yeah, we never got
our moment.
shirtless Rick. My fingers are crossed for
Got
season
season
2.
two.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Maybe we'll
I
just
already
take that
know.
footage and put it in.
Yeah. It's just like a
finish the season
Maybe
flashback.
some
already?
flashback stuff.
Yeah.
Have you watched, like, do you get to watch cuts? Because when I was on Dating No Filter, we got the full episode like the night before it came out.
Yeah.
So the first time I'm watching myself in the episode, I'm watching it pretty much like with the audience.
Yeah, same.
If I don't get to watch it. So
They don't let me
you-
see any Try Guys
you don't get
videos
to see-
before they go out.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, he gives notes on every cut.
was
So
like-
you don't get to
I was
like
like, wait,
pick
what?
out your performance. You don't
No.
get to give notes and say
No.
like, oh, I don't like that. What was the weirdest part about watching yourself on TV? Because you hadn't.
Oh, I didn't
before.
know my eyes were that big. My eyes are fucking huge, guys.
You're like
my
an
eyes
anime character.
like I have like so much white
Yes.
in my eyes.
Yes.
You
And
know how
it's just
jealous I am? I got these lazy.
Yeah.
I went to a plastic surgeon once for a video, and he told me that I had like recessed, lazy-looking eyes.
Oh my,
my God.
But my eyes look bulgy. And
yeah,
I
now
was
you
like,
want
No.
that? That's good.
I think I look like a fucking murderer.
No, you look like
every
a
time I look
sweet-
around. There's a scene
You
in the
look
second
like
season.
a sweet little angel with
No.
big eyeballs.
There's a scene in the second season. Look at that shit. Because I don't see myself from the side often. I just didn't know, or like from angles that you can't see, blah blah blah. There's a scene in the second season where I'm playing air hockey.
Ooh.
And you're watching my eyes follow the puck.
Oh, no.
And I'm just like not blinking, and it's just like, damn, he must be really focused on this fucking puck. I look like
Oh my God.
psychopath. I was like, oh no.
Okay, second question. Fittings, I know, are like the most fun.
Oh, my
when
God.
Like
Sweet baby.
I had to yell at our style because you do fittings, you pick things out, you say, this is the kind of style I like.
Yeah.
No, for this, my hips are too big here, so don't get wide-legged, big pattern thing,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And still, I had times where the producer or the director would be like, no, wear the other one.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
Like,
so-
how much wardrobe and hair and
Oh
like
my God.
styling?
Sweet baby Kaylee Brenneman. She's fucking fantastic as a stylist, for one. And for two, she would try to like she knows her job. She would like set them up and be like, I'm gonna set up this one first so that they know that this is what we
You
want.
look
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, thank you. She in the second season, she was like, you know who I love? Vince Staples. And I was like, let's do it. Let's fucking go. And so like you're gonna fucking love this. There is an episode where I'm in a sweater vest. And I think that's my favorite outfit of
Did
the fucking
you
season.
steal any wardrobe,
fuck
jewelry?
yes. Fuck-
yeah.
no jewelry.
Why are you
but-
not wearing these outfits to this podcast?
Yeah, why? We get the
Yeah.
same fucking sweatshirt 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah, hell yeah. I love this
Blasphemous.
sweatshirt.
I do like that.
I love it
It's
so
a good
much.
color.
But
Can I borrow one of the
Yeah,
shirts?
of
Yeah.
course. Of course.
That's fun.
But that's why I didn't know about like knitted tops, all of that shit.
Hell yeah.
Are you wearing a knitted top?
I wear knitted tops. There's several in
Yes,
there.
sir.
Do you know that this is the summer of cropped knitted tops for men?
Cropped knitted
Cropped
tops?
knitted tops. You think
You heard it
knitted
here
tops
first.
are hot?
Yeah.
You will be wearing cropped knitted tops. Thank you, Miles.
We're gonna be seeing
this
Miles's
summer.
navel all summer.
I
Yeah,
want to
right.
see nipples and
Big
navels.
Yeah.
Nipples
Let's-
and knaves.
Let's see those nips. Let's see that underboob, Mom.
Nips and
So
knaves.
you know what happens at the end of season 2. Zach and I did not finish the
I haven't
series.
finished yet.
Yeah, I thought only 3 episodes came out to
Yeah.
start because I thought they
Yeah.
were dropping every week like they did last year, which was torturous, where we had to wait.
No, but all 10 are out.
Now all 10 are out.
All 10 are out.
When do you find out about a season 3?
I don't know. I have no idea. We've got the writer's strike coming up, so
Oh fuck!
yeah, that could or could not happen. But yeah, I think that could that's definitely got everybody on edge.
Sure.
Everybody's like, oh, I don't know what to do.
For
what to
people that
greenlight.
aren't in the industry, can you give us like a brief, just like a couple sentences about what's about to happen and why it's
Okay,
such a big deal?
so the WGA
Writers
has
Guild of America.
Writers Guild of America has a pretty much a they have a contract every 3 years, and we are on our 3rd year. It's up in May 1st, and a lot of people are upset with the way that residuals are trickling down and how we're not getting residuals based off of internet stuff anymore or at all in general.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be when you wrote a show,
Yep.
your show would get reruns, and you would get paid for those reruns, and that's significant money that would help
carry you on for life.
Carry for life. And now with streaming, there's no reruns. It's just there forever.
And people are just playing it over and over again.
Paid a flat sum, but no matter how well the show does, you're not seeing residuals.
And the biggest thing that is happening, like I think Abbott Elementary is the best example, is that the show will come out, do very well, and usually, like with Seinfeld, that would get sold to other networks. Like, so you can watch Seinfeld and Friends, not on NBC, but on TBS or Freeform or UPN back in the day.
If you've ever seen like a Friends rerun on a block of 12, like that is paying people serious money.
Paying people a lot of money. I think the one of the most fun examples is one of the writers of The Simpsons when they did that FXX run of The Simpsons. He was like, one of those marathons, I was able to pay for all of my kids' college.
And unreal.
Insane. But then they did that like
and you're
3
also
or 4
a
times.
writer, so this is like very much behind the scenes for you too, with like your life.
Very serious.
Yeah.
But back to the Abbott example is they are now, instead of selling it to other networks, they're selling it to their own streamers. And so Abbott is on Disney Plus, it's on HBO Max. And the writers who created these characters and all of that see barely any of that money. So that is the big issue.
They're renegotiating
what that will look like.
And if it does not get settled before May 1st, what happens to all of our favorite shows?
The writers will strike and will not go into work. They will be at picket lines, all of that stuff. Please support it. Until a deal is made.
Yeah,
how long can that take?
Months.
Months.
Yeah, the last time this happened was, 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
I remember Lost Season 4 got impacted.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
Got a shortened season because of the writer's strike.
Can't tell.
Yeah, it's still a great season.
But people are always like, we have to wait so
Faraday's
long.
arc was impacted.
For a show.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is about to make it
even
10
longer.
times worse.
Even longer.
So
for all of
shows that are wondering if they're going to get picked up, if they're going to have any longevity to it, unless they're a resounding success, or everyone's kind of being left in the rafters of will we survive this strike? Will we come back?
And it means
that even the ones that are resounding successes, the writers on those shows aren't making that much more than any other show that isn't a success.
And so they might just walk as writers.
Everybody has to walk.
Right.
Yeah, but it's just, they're not making that. They should be making way more, because it should be like a sliding scale of, based off of
the more successful the more money you make.
The more money you should be making.
And that's the thing is, like, every writer will have to strike starting May 1st, because if you don't, you're seen as what's called a scab. And
don't cross picket lines. We support our unions.
Yeah. And we
support
unions.
Yeah. And really what it also, means is that studios they're just scared, because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know how the strike's long it's going to last. So they're not greenlighting new shows. They're going to be afraid to renew other shows.
They put all their money in documentaries.
Yeah. They're putting all their money in documentaries.
Kelsey's the only one smiling.
All of my pitches don't start for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for us to tell you how much of a pleasure this show is. It's really...
You think you would get that out of us, you sick fucks? You think we would even dare dip our toes in the guilty pleasures or just plain guilty world?
You little sick freak.
You think we're gonna break up Familia with a fucking grading scale?
You think Goofy's fat ass would ever?
I think it's guilty.
You're right.
No, it's just such a delight to see Friends succeed.
Yeah.
Just in general, it's great to see you on a show, right? That I think is enough of a reason to watch it.
Yes.
But then what if I told you he was on a really dope, great show?
I say that all the time, that I'm not lying when I say I would watch this with you, not on it.
It's got a great ensemble of characters. It's telling stories that you don't normally get to see on TV, with a lot of humor, a lot of grace, a lot of heart. It's and it's packing such a punch in a 22-minute episode. So like you get to eat these episodes like snacks, but you're getting so much emotion in it. And I love the ensemble. They're they're like etched into my heart at this point.
I will say, like,
fantastic.
after the first episode, I went and followed all of the characters on Instagram because I was like, I want to know these people in real life. I want to follow them around day to day. It's such a good cast. And I would say even don't binge it all at once.
Yeah.
Savor this.
Yeah.
Watch one episode every
around.
couple days. Like, let yourself live in the single drunk world.
Ooh.
Let yourself fall in love with these characters. See yourself in them. Tell your friends about it. Go watch our boy.
Yeah.
All episodes, both seasons are on Hulu.
Yeah.
Wait,
Go
do you
check
have
them out.
any fun facts?
Do I have any fun
Or
facts?
like behind the scenes, like crazy?
I do. So the role of James, they
Was
originally
played
were
by-
looking at, it went to Garrick Bernard, but they were looking at the who's who of Hollywood: Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah,
Zac Efron.
Yeah.
They actually had a time machine and brought back a young Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
to audition.
Yeah.
And
But our
then
boy
Garrick
got him.
came in and drop kicked all of them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, ran them over with his car.
Do I have any fun? I don't.
You're laughing because you definitely do, but you're wondering if you could tell them.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of one that's like
Who hooked up behind the scenes?
kosher.
Who kissed?
Nobody. I mean, Lily's adorable. So I mean, everybody was trying to get down with Lily. I don't fucking know.
right.
I'm gonna think of one.
Just a question, Rick. Don't
Yeah.
get your panties in a bun.
No. I think I already told you most of it.
Yeah.
Did you know that the city of Boston was actually filmed in Atlanta?
It was filmed in
Wow.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Hot.
There you go.
It snowed.
The pilot
Because-
was shot in Chicago.
There you go. The pilot's a great episode. At least watch the pilot. But watch all of it.
Yeah, watch all of it.
Should we do our pleasures this week, or is our pleasure just single drunk female?
I feel like it would be blasphemous not to just say our pleasure is single drunk female.
I saw Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
there you go.
It's
Go for
fucking
it.
dope as hell.
Hell yeah.
Guys, Evil Dead is my favorite franchise. I adore all these movies with all my heart. This movie absolutely rips.
Yeah.
It is a really crazy, fun, insane horror movie. It evolves this franchise. If you've ever seen them, Evil Dead, the first one is terrifying.
Yeah.
The second one is a comedy remake of the first one.
Yeah.
And it is campy and goofy. This is a return to doing a true horror film, but still manages to have a great sense of humor. And what I love is that it took Evil Dead out of the cabin in the woods. It's in an apartment complex, and you go, like, how is this going to feel Evil Dead? This is a totally different thing.
Yeah,
It honors
it does.
the spirit of the movie, but brings it in a great new direction. The lead, I don't know her name, but she is this terrifying mother torturing her family. The Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead, has never looked better. I was really nervous going into this movie because of how much I love this franchise.
Yeah.
It fucking rips. It's awesome. Head on over to a movie theater. Check out Evil Dead Rise.
Necronomicon.
I've got one. I don't like festivals. I hate being out in the sun. I don't like crowds, and I like to pee in an
Yeah.
air-conditioned room. But I am going to Outside Land this year, which is going to be super fun.
I go almost every year.
And this
Wow.
is 1 year you're not fucking going.
Nope.
And there is an artist who I've been listening to for like a year now, and she's super dope. And her name is Ethel Cain.
Oh, yeah.
Her real name is Hunter, but she goes by this character. She's created an album based off. It's called Preacher's Daughter, and she's like a gothic ghost that like lives in a wood shack in Alabama who creates angelic music. So go listen to Preacher's Daughter if you've never heard of Ethel Cain. She's a fucking emo goddess, and now she was just signed to like Vogue's model or she was face of like Prada or some shit this fashion season. She's iconic. Go listen to Ethel Cain.
I'm gonna be corny or not corny on this one, but just more cliche. Man, watch Succession, bro. Watch.
Yes!
I cannot stress this enough. How jealous I am of these people's writing ability.
It's
I think
unreal.
that it is. I think that it is the closest to Shakespearean writing that we
Damn.
have seen on television and in our generation. To where every word has subtext. Everybody's trying to finagle their way into something that they want in a way that is like sneaky or whatever. I mean, I guess like Game of Thrones did this in a sense, but I don't know, man. Succession, the way that Succession does it, where it's just like kind of just straight up business speak about things that you do not understand, but you're like, I
You
for
get
whatever
everything.
reason, I get it. I
Yeah.
get the feeling of trying to get over on this person. based off of their relationship, based off the way they're speaking. It's the clearest example of subtext that I've ever seen in my fucking life where I'm like, oh, you don't mean what you're saying at all. Oh, God. And then you see that it gets flipped on its head. And then, I mean, this last season, I get that people like make fun of everything, make fun of like, oh, every time there's a Succession shot, everybody is like, oh, this looks so good. And then they put up a piece of like clip art or whatever, or stock footage. And I don't know, but like the way that this season is playing out, even though in the third episode you knew something was going to happen, but you didn't know that it was going to happen in the third episode.
No.
It was
shocked.
I was truly shocked. If you watch the first season, you're like, oh, this is going to happen. And then you're like, oh, okay, this is the last season. I'm wondering when that thing from the first season is going to happen. Boom, third episode, we're getting it out of the way.
I will not.
And
be
now
well.
we're just watching the fallout.
Yeah.
It's so sneakily well directed. Like they have these compositions where you're like, oh, what? Because it almost lulls you into thinking that it's documentary, like that they're just, oh, we're just randomly filming stuff, and it's beautifully.
Episode 3 has like a one take,
one shot of them just finding out, and it's just like them like scrambling, and it's fucking
like
insane.
A play, they said.
I feel like this
it is a play.
Yeah.
This season, they've gotten more explicit with the fact that it is just like, okay, you may say like, I don't care about business people and rich fucks. No, this is a kingdom, and they're all fighting for the crown.
Yes.
This is like it's like castle fighting.
It is.
In this season, they have dialogue where they're like, do you want me to slit her throat and do that? But they're talking about business.
They're talking about business. Yeah. It's
My
so
dad
good.
was like, I couldn't watch it anymore because I couldn't watch them go back and forth asking like, is this a thing?
Yeah.
Is this a thing?
Right.
Are you a thing? And I'm like, but that's why it's fucking great.
Yeah,
because it's real.
It's real. That's how people would talk about this situation.
Yes.
It like there was a whole lawyer on YouTube that I watched explaining what a bear hug was, and I was like, oh wow, so this is real. This isn't something that somebody made up. So like you feel the effort that they come up that they put into their scripts and all the research that they put into their scripts. It's fucking insane.
Very brave of you to recommend this small little show.
Yeah,
this
tiny
really
little
needs
Succession.
viewership.
And I'm sorry, just really quick. Kieran Culkin is doing something that his brother couldn't even fucking dream.
It's
He
unreal.
should have moved to the lead actor category for the
Yeah,
Oscar.
because
I'm
he's
bummed about it.
Yeah,
Why?
Because now he's not going to win a fucking Emmy.
he's going against Jeremy Strong.
If he was stayed in
He's
some,
going
Yeah,
against.
but give him
he's
the-
going
give him
against,
the Emmy,
He's
you
going
coward.
against Brian Cox.
Give him the Emmy, you coward.
I don't know.
Jeremy,
Did you see the?
Jeremy deserves
Jeremy's
it.
gonna-
Jeremy's
Jeremy's
fucking
gonna-
fantastic.
But I mean, I agree. Kieran's incredible. Did you see the clip? Because I thought about this when you were talking about how you were not method, and everyone always makes fun of Jeremy Strong for being the most method actor.
Yeah, it's so funny.
And Kieran Culkin said that in the scene with Alexander Skarsgård, who's incredible on this show too,
Yeah, so good.
he didn't even see the mountain. Because he's so in character.
Oh my
Kieran's
God.
like also falling down the method
Rabbit
actor
hole.
hole.
Yeah.
That was such a good scene.
But hey, the results don't lie.
The result, I fucking hate you. Oh my God. Anyway, sorry. So good.
Alexander Skarsgård rules.
Yeah, he's
I love that man.
He's fucking sick.
the character in which he plays is so scarily accurate to some of these people that it's like it's wild.
All right.
All
We
right.
should get
Jesus
out of
Christ.
here.
I blew my load all over single drunk female. I'm exhausted. I'm sweating. I got
me too.
tit sweat. I don't even have tits.
Well,
been
we
a
want to thank you for listening, and we want to thank the cast and crew of Single Drunk Female for considering Kelsey and I for season 3.
And for employing our boy.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Well,
guys.
fuck that. He already got the job.
Okay. Yeah.
So
He's already
if
paid.
you want to excite a small but passionate
Mighty
core
audience.
of whores.
There's no better way to say it.
Yeah.
I'm at Corny and all things.
I'm Kelsey Darragh and all things.
I'm Garrick Bernard on all the things.
And until next time, my
Watch
name's
single drunk female on Hulu for watching now.
My name's Garrick. I'm wearing sexy chains. All my shoes.